written question that came in, and this one's going to have some fairly what I'm going to call extensive strategy or ways of thinking through the strategy. It's going to be a lot of fun here. So let's get right into it. This is in Virginia, and this is Sean. Sean says, "Hey, Alan, fellow serviceman here. Just wanted to ask, how late can you do a reseed of turf-type tall fescue with a top dressing? My lawn has suffered due to many deployments, and now I have the time to fix it. I plan to use Jonathan Green turf-type tall fescue Black Beauty with 50/50 topsoil top dressing. Can this be done?" Sean. Sean, first of all, my brother, thank you for your service, 100%. Thank you so much. And the biggest piece that I took from this is that I'm glad that you have time now to get back to your lawn, because that tells me, hopefully, that your deployments are over, my friend. My sons are both veterans. I have an Air Force son. He did one deployment overseas, and I have a son that was a Marine, and he is also now out. He did some very deep deployments, and we were worried for a long time there as parents. I should say not worried. We were concerned for a long time there as parents. And so I understand when you're out of those deployments, man, you're getting back into something that's incredibly relaxing and I hope therapeutic. I hear from veterans all the time that tell me that they use lawn care as therapy, growing that living thing that's around you. Oh, it's incredible. So I didn't mean to get off on that, but Sean, thanks a lot, brother. And again, I'm glad you're back from your deployments, and I hope all is good with you. Okay, so now let's talk about seeding, because a lot of you are coming into a point where you're at right now, like especially in Virginia. I'm going to assume you're in Norfolk, Virginia or somewhere like that, and you are coming into a hot period in Virginia right now. I didn't look at temperatures or anything, but I know that you're going to be into some 80s here if you're not already, really soon here. This is May already, and it can get really hot. So the challenge you have with seeding right now, because I know what you want to do. You're a military man. You want to get out there and just take over that lawn. You just want to go after the whole thing right now. I'm putting words in your mouth here, Sean. You guys know that's what I do. I like to take the scenario out a little, have a little bit of liberties with your story, and assuming that here Sean's a military man, he just wants to knock this whole thing out, man. Just take it. But as you know, when you have a strategy like this, sometimes you need to fight little battles here and little battles there. But the thing you need to do before that is you do need to create the battle plan. And the challenge that you have with seeding when it's going to be hot is that your seed could be killed by heat. So let's think about it right now. You're going to do turf-type tall fescue. It's going to take that 7 days or so just to germinate. Now, some germinates quicker, some germinate slower, but 7 days or so is about what it's going to take. So if you seed right now, today, May 1st, May 2nd, you're not actually going to have grass that you can actually see coming up until May 10th. Because just because it germinates doesn't mean you see it right away. It'll take a couple days even after that. So you're at May 10th. I mean, check out your temperatures in your area. Now you're going to need to go all the way until you get 2 good mowings before you can really do too much with it. And the reason I say that is because 2 good mowings is typically when I'm going to tell you that the grass is stable, that the grass is viable, that it's able to hold itself up. And 2 good mowings is a sign of that, because the first mowing is what tells it, hey, we ain't living off the milk and honey of our little grass seed no more. We're getting cut here. We're getting challenged. They're not going to be watering us every day here anymore and giving us beautiful starter fert and all this kind of stuff. No, now our own roots are going to have to support us because this dude just cut us off. So we got to come back and grow. And so the second mowing means that it grew through your first mowing. You challenged it, and it came through. And that second mowing then tells you, all right, now my grass is established. So for turf-type tall fescue, if you wait 10 days for germination, it's going to be another 20 days after that for full 2 mowings. It's not, it's warm this time of year, so it's going to go pretty good. So that's 30 days. That's going to put you into the beginning of June. And Virginia's hot in June. So even though you got through the 2 mowings, your root system is still not as established as a lawn that's been in for a few years, not even close. When I say it's viable turf, I mean it can handle some things. It can live. It'll be okay. But it isn't going to be able to handle extreme heat. So that's the challenge you have, in that you could go to all this work and bam, it could all be for naught, because a heat spell could just wipe it out and kill it. The other thing that's going to happen during that time frame is you're going to have weeds that are going to be rushing in. Now, you could use the Scott starter fertilizer that has the mesotrione in it, and that actually is a very good type of a starter fertilizer to use. Mesotrione is the same thing that's in tenacity. It's a great pre-emergent for spring because it will help suppress crabgrass. I think it also suppresses some dandelions here and there. So if you are going to go through with this, if you are going to try it, you want to use that mesotrione to help try to keep some of the weeds out. But I'm telling you, they've already got a head start on you because you're late. And that's the whole thing. That mesotrione may not even work because many of these weeds have already come into this grow. So those are the things you got to look for. Those are the things that you have to consider if you are going to seed. Now, Sean, here's my actual advice to you, because I'm going to assume, because you're telling me that your grass kind of went downhill while you were on deployments, which tells me that you had good turf there at some point. And because of that, I'm going to have faith that that good, hard work and investment that you put in earlier before your deployments, I'm going to tell you that that is going to pay off for you now, because you've had to be away for a long period of time. But that time that you put in previous is going to pay off for you now, and that I bet you that you've got 30% good turf there. And this is where I say, don't take the notion that you want to go in and charge it all now and thicken it all up and kill all the weeds and fix it now. Instead, I'd ask, let's back off and reassess. Get down in there on your hands and knees. Do you have at least 30% good turf? I bet you do, because of the investment that you put in however long ago that was. Even if it was 4 years ago, that investment is still there. I promise you it is. And in that case, there are products that are for you because you're starting late. So here's the other thing. You're not at the ideal time to start even working the lawn itself. So this is those of you who are starting late. You've just found this particular podcast, or you found the community online, you found my YouTube channel, and you're like, I want to start right now in Norfolk, Virginia, but it's so hot right now. I've already got a ton of weeds up. My grass looks terrible, doesn't look good. What do I do? Well, there's products that are made for you for right now, what I call late season, like, whoa. Okay, well, for those of you on the podcast, I just knocked down my flamingo ornament because I'm talking with my hands so much here. But there's these products that are designed for this late season. I'm going to use a term, probably a bad term, but like this carpet bomb effect, that you can kind of go in and just drop this, and it's going to like kind of hit a reset button as good as possible. There's so much been going on. So much has gotten away. We just need to carpet bomb it. But we don't want to destroy the whole thing. And what these products are these 3-in-1s, and you're going to find them in a granular formulation. The one that Scott sells that you're going to find everywhere is called Turf Builder Triple Action Lawn Fertilizer. Now, they have a Southern brand, or a Southern blend, and then they have a Cool Season Northern blend, or they have a blend for cool season grass and a blend for warm season grass. I happen to be looking at the one that would work good here in Norfolk, Virginia for our turf type tall fescue that Sean has, and it is called Triple Action Lawn Fertilizer. And what it's got in it, it's got Pendimethalin, 2,4-D, and of course I keep saying it, the MCPP. Yeah, you know me. And then it's also got fertilizer in it. So what this gives you, and this is an interesting take on a three-way app, but what this gives you is three things. The first thing it gives you is their fertilizer, and I didn't look at the analysis on it. It's probably like a 3003 or something. It's a, let's see, it covers 10,000 square feet, so it's a 5 pounds per 1,000 application rate. So I highly doubt it's a 3003. It's probably in the 20s somewhere. I don't want to get wrapped around the axle on nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus at this point. But either way, it's going to have enough fertilizer in there to jolt everything in place. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing it has. The second thing it has is the pendimethalin. Pendimethalin is a pre-emergent. Now, again, I'm telling you that you're not going with my first strategy, which was where you were going to try to suck it up and seed. We're not doing that. Now we're going with this strategy, which is to use this triple action. And what you're going to do is put down that pendimethalin pre-emergent. Now, you're late. You're not going to stop 100% of the crabgrass, but you're going to stop some. I promise you that. Anytime that you're prior to like the middle of June, I don't care where you live, it's a good idea to put down a pre-emergent if you can. So that's going to be the second thing you're going to get is pre-emergent control during the summer to stop some of that stuff. And then the 2,4-D and the MCPP, those are auxin herbicides. Those are a broadleaf weed killer. So you're going to bomb this lawn with that. It's one application. It's a 5 pounds per 1,000. Knock it out. That's what I would do, Sean. Water that in. Follow the label. I would start with that right there. And then from there, I would jump on my program. If you go to thelawncarenut.com, you can get my free guide, Cool Season Guide for you. You can jump right in with whatever step it feels good. Step 2, step 3 probably, step 3 somewhere. And that's where you're just going to start feeding it with good fertilizer. You're going to be spot spraying weeds. You're going to look for disease, insects, all of those things, grubs coming up. But I would start with one of those 3-way type products like that triple action lawn fertilizer. And I just want to say Scott's is not a sponsor here, nothing like that. I'm just telling you this is a product that this is where this product is used for. And there are other brands too. If you go to the local big box store, whatever, they're all going to have a triple action. That seems to be where everybody's going now. That seems to be the new thing that people are putting out here is those type of products. So I would recommend, Sean, that you give that a try.